Let's sail away on the Carnival Firenze. We boarded the ship for a cruise to Mexico, and we're spending about a week here. We started right out of the port at Long Beach, and we booked a window room but did not get a balcony. I just want to give you a quick look at where we'd be calling home for the trip. You'll notice throughout the ship it does stick to the Italian theme, and there were 3 of us staying in the room. One thing I love about Carnival are the famous towel animals. It really makes coming back to your room super exciting. One thing I really liked about this bathroom is that it had 2 rooms. One had an actual bathtub, which I've never seen on a cruise, and then the other one was your standard toilet shower setup. I can't say I took many baths, but it was nice to have the extra bathroom space, and it gave everybody more room to get ready. Plus, it can't hurt to have a little more storage space on a cruise. Don't forget to head up when you disembark to say goodbye to Long Beach. Now let's get to business. If you've never been on a cruise before, you're gonna find that most people come to drink and eat. There are lots of food options included in the price, including sit-down meals and buffet. However, the Firenze has multiple paid options as well. If you like to drink alcohol, they do have drink packages. They also have soda packages as well. If you're not super picky about beverages, however, you can get juice and water for free. The drink program through Carnival is called Cheers. It is about $70 a person a day, and every adult in the room does have to purchase it. There was a long wait for a lot of the food here. We did end up doing a couple paid options, but let's go ahead and tour the various restaurants on board. This was the main area where they had live music and karaoke. They also did some trivia here, and there is a small bar in the corner. This was a great spot to get espresso drinks in the morning. You can also walk outside on this deck, so it's nice if you want to get some fresh air. This is a great spot to come grab a drink and just enjoy whatever activity is going on here at the moment. Depending on the time of day, it did get pretty crowded over here. But again, I'd mainly come over here to grab a quick drink at the bar, and particularly grab coffee and espresso drinks in the morning. If you get the Cheers package, those drinks are included as well, and they don't count towards your drink total for the day. Another thing that was included was bottled water, which was super nice. Quickly, I'm going to take you into the Michelangelo restaurant. This is where you have your sit-down dinners if you can make them, but the wait times for dinner were super long, and a lot of the time they had the same food in the buffet, so honestly it just kind of depends on the experience you want to have. Dining room itself was really nice though. During our week-long cruise, I think we had dinner in here twice, and the quality of food and presentation was really nice. There's also the Medici restaurant. This was open on our first day as a buffet. That was when there was limited food options. But during the rest of the cruise, this was just some other assigned dining area. So other than the first day and this also being our muster station, we actually didn't really eat here. I'm gonna assume they were serving the same stuff as the Michelangelo restaurant. Anyways, here's a photo of us eating here just so you have proof. If this was another assigned dining area, I'd say the Michelangelo restaurant was slightly nicer. One of the paid dining experiences that we did do while on our cruise was the bonsai sushi. It's right across from this lovely casino statue. During our cruise, they were taking walk-ins, but I'd highly recommend making a reservation on the app. There were some times when I passed it and it was super busy. Anyways, here's what it looks like when it's open. This is your standard restaurant style menu with select items and prices. Another fun thing about this spot is that they had different cocktails that they didn't have at the other bars. I'm also just a huge sushi lover, and you're really not going to see sushi at the buffet. We got 1 roll and a boat to share. I admire the creativity with the little veggie rolls, and overall it wasn't the best sushi ever, but it really hit the spot. Now outside next to this pool there are a couple food and drink options. If you couldn't tell by the line, this pizza spot was one of the busiest food spots during the whole cruise. I did manage to eat here once, but don't have any video evidence. This was the bar right next to the pool. This was my go-to spot for a yummy blended drink, and it was only steps away from the pool. This other line you see forming here is for the chicken shack. If I remember correctly, this was a paid option and wasn't included, but I never really actually ate here or looked at it too hard, so don't quote me on that one. Next, I'll bring you guys over to the main meal area. This is going to be where that big carnival-style buffet is that we all know and love. Also take a moment to appreciate the Italian touches. Here they're serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This was our go-to during the trip just because you don't have to wait in as crazy of lines. There's plenty of places to sit. And again, in the evening, they are serving a lot of the same items that they would have in the main dining room, just not necessarily the best presentation. I'm also a huge fan of shrimp cocktail, so I'll go dine in the dining room just for that. Anyways, it is serve it yourself buffet style. This is all included in your cruise price. I like that they had a nice selection of desserts here as well. Keep in mind though, there are a couple paid options within the buffet area, like these wings. Even if you're not stopping in for a meal, I like to walk through here just to grab a soft serve cone. Usually it's chocolate and vanilla, but sometimes they'll have strawberry. It's one of my favorite sweet treats when I'm on a cruise. I will have you know that I was lucky enough during this video to actually get some strawberry soft serve. Super delicious. Outside of the buffet is Guy's Burger Joint. This is another free option where you can get a burger, and they had a bar where you can add your own toppings. They had an impressive amount of toppings, and who doesn't love a good burger? Across the way was Tomodoro. This was Mexican-Italian fusion. You could go there for a breakfast burrito in the morning, and also get stuff like burritos and tacos in the afternoon and evening. They had a little salsa bar with all those toppings you'd like. This one was also included with the cruise price. Another free option is going to be this Il Mercato. This is upstairs above the other two, and they serve stuff like hot sandwiches, like meatball subs, that sort of thing. Especially for a multi-day cruise, it's nice to have different options because you do get kind of tired of eating the same things. So yeah, compared to other ships I've been on, this definitely had a lot of food options. They also had a really nice organized app so you can kind of see everything laid out. This was another poolside bar. This was closer to the main pool in the middle where they'd have the movies and everything. Honestly, this area was kind of small and crowded, so I never went swimming here and didn't spend much time here. But if you like to drink, there are plenty of bars located around the ship. This bar is also on the upper level by the pool, so in my opinion, if one line's too long, keep moving and you'll find another place. If you board the Carnival Firenze, this is going to look very familiar to you. This is kind of like the main entry area when you board the ship. This is also the central bar where they have these little events and things. At times they had photo booths set up here, and this is just a really, really cool part of the ship. I do like this bar down here, but it can get really crowded, especially on the first day. And they did have little performances here like this one. Another paid restaurant that we ate at was Bonsai Teppanyaki. Got the same kind of theme as a sushi place, but it's a teppanyaki place, which was super fun with a family. Our chef was the star of the show, and it was that fun, lively experience that you'd expect from teppanyaki. The food was really, really good, and we left stuffed. So this is a perfect thing to book with a big family if you're celebrating something special or just don't want to wait for the main restaurant, or if you just kind of want to spice it up during your cruise. This is another one I'd highly recommend making a reservation for, and I'd say that the experience was definitely worth it. Across the way is another paid restaurant that we didn't end up eating at, although if I ever sail with the Firenze again, I'll definitely check this one out. This is their steakhouse. Of the various paid restaurants on the Firenze, I thought the interior here was super, super nice. It also looks like they had some seating outside if you really wanted. This definitely looked like a great spot if you were looking for a more romantic evening out or celebrating something super special like an anniversary, that sort of thing. So here's what it looks like, and maybe next time I'll be able to give you a review. My favorite of the cruise was Hans at the piano bar. They got whiskey, women, music is low. It's rare on the Carnival road to win a boot scooty boogie. He was absolutely amazing, but it caught on fast because it did get pretty crowded, so get a seat early. Down the way is Amari. This is another really popular bar serving up specialty cocktails, and the bartenders really knew their stuff here, but again, this one was pretty packed sometimes. Further down the way, you're gonna find Frizzante. This was one of my favorites because it was a spritz bar, so if you're looking for your Aperol spritz, Hugo spritz, or anything of that variety, this is definitely your spot. I liked it here because I never had to wait too long either. One of the last paid options I'm going to show you guys is this Italian restaurant. We dined here and had this fabulous cake. This one was set up like a prefix menu that you choose from. I really liked the quality and presentation, and this was definitely worth the visit as well. Now I'm going to take you to my favorite bar on the entire ship. This is Moda Bar and Lounge. Now during the morning it is closed off for certain guests. I think they have a brunch or something here. Otherwise you're free to come in and hang out. It had a really cool vibe. The entrance is a really, really cool photo op. In the evening, they'd have a band here playing Latin music. People'd be dancing, and overall it was just a really fun, almost hidden space from the rest of the ship. This bar also had all my favorite cocktails of the cruise. They're serving specialty drinks that you won't find anywhere else on the ship. So Moda Bar was by far the best, but let's keep it a secret. Another bar by the comedy club was Heroes Tribute Bar. I didn't spend any time here, but they were playing various sports games. So if there's a major game during your cruise, this is probably the bar you want to go to. This one also wasn't very busy, so it's a great option for you if you don't want to wait in line for a drink. Now let's talk about some of the amenities. First spot I'm going to show you is the Serenity Adult Lounge. This is an adults-only area of the ship, so if you're feeling a little carnivaled out and want to escape all the children, this is the spot to go to. They have some jacuzzis, lounge chairs, and their own towel station. This area does not have a pool, which I thought was kind of weird, but I dug a little bit into the history of this ship, and it was actually intended to be a Chinese cruise ship, I believe, before COVID happened. And apparently things like pools on cruise ships aren't a big focus in China. Now don't quote me on that, that's just what I was told by some crew members on board when I asked, but it makes sense to me. Anyways, this was still a super nice spot to hang out. There was its own bar over here and lots of chairs to relax. They even had some lounge areas with swings, which was really fun. And again, it's just nice to have an adults only area to get away from the noise and craziness. Although I will be transparent with you guys, finding a spot in that hot tub, or any hot tub for the cruise, pretty difficult. If you're a big fan of personal space, the Carnival Cruise jacuzzi is not the spot for you. Your best bet is to try to hop in during a port day when everybody's off the ship. We managed to do this in Ensenada and had a lovely time. There's also some jacuzzis behind Moda Bar that you can use in the evening. Check them out and thank me later. This is also a super ideal spot if you're interested in laying out in the sun. Sure, there's plenty of spots to lay out on the ship, but when you're out at sea, man, that wind really gets ya. Serenity had these big glass windows that covered a lot of the wind. It wasn't a perfect fix, but there were times where this was the most pleasant place to lay on the ship, especially when that wind's really cranking. I also spotted this little jacuzzi on the front of the ship here, but I never saw anybody using it the whole time. If anybody has information on that particular jacuzzi, please let me know in the comments. Is it for VIP? Is it staff? I really want to know. Anyways, it's time to exit Serenity and go check out some of the other amenities. If you haven't noticed it by now, they had a pretty sweet water slide. If you go at the right time of day, there's no line. And it really was a lot of fun. Up top here, there were these two bigger slides, and then they had this shorter yellow slide down there that looked like it was for smaller kids that we didn't end up riding. But yeah, if you've never been on a boat in the middle of the ocean riding a water slide, then I'd highly recommend it. Definitely make sure to add that one to your bucket list. Another fun tip is that the deck can get really hot, so make sure you bring some kind of sandal or something. Walking around barefoot on some of these areas is not fun. Another thing I love about cruise ships is the amazing views. I mean, just look at that. A cruise is a really great place to just slow down and relax, maybe finish a book or that art project you've been working on, or go for a ride down the water slide. At the base of the water slide, they also had the splash pad area for kids. If you're an adult and you like this sort of thing too, though, have at it. It was also really nice how everything was central to this one location, so you didn't have to go super far to access all these fun water features. If you stroll along the walking jogging track, you'll see some sun lounging areas away from the water slide. This is a nice spot to lay and hang out if it's not super windy, but honestly, while the ship was moving, that was kind of rare. If you look up here, you'll see they have this ropes course. You do have to wait in line and get strapped in, but it's a really fun obstacle course. I'm a little scared of heights, so I didn't try it, but it was a pretty popular spot during our time on the ship. Right now we're walking along the walking jogging track, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but I just kind of want to give you guys a close-up of this ropes course up here because it was really, really cool, and it actually takes up a good chunk of this entertainment area. You get a great view of the smokestack of the ship here, and central to this area there's also mini golf. There was a lot of space and different courses, but again, this was pretty popular and did fill up pretty quickly. So if your cruise is pretty packed, just be prepared to wait in a line. Again, it really depends because sometimes things are empty, sometimes they're not. Here's another mini golf course that wasn't nearly as packed. This was a really popular area for kids because you had the ropes course, the mini golf, and there is an arcade over here as well. They also have various kid babysitting options, so they have like a younger kids camp. They also have camps for teens, that way they can meet friends and hang out with kids their age. And it's great for parents because there's someone to watch your kiddos while you enjoy the ship. Here is the arcade. This was not included and you did have to pay extra to use the arcade, so just keep that in mind. But again, there's lots of entertainment options for kids and adults alike. They also had some cornhole set up over here. Now back to the jogging track. This was super nice to take advantage of during sunset. Obviously the views are great and it's nice and cool, but not a lot of people are jogging on a cruise, so I find it was hard to run around this without running into other people. Another super popular spot for the teenagers was this basketball court. It was enclosed by nets, so you don't have to worry about the ball flying out onto the deck. So another great way to stay active and have fun on your cruise. There's also some lounge and seating areas over here. And if you're lucky enough to score an open table, they did have foosball as well. There is lots of space all over the ship to hang out, sit, and just enjoy your time there. And again, there's a little something for everyone, whether you're a child or an adult. Now let's move on to the pool. There were two main pools on this ship, but this one at the back of the ship was by far the best one. The deck was really nice to lay on and you had a wonderful view. But again, depending on the day, it can get pretty packed over here. I did find that they had plenty of chairs and seating though, so it wasn't too hard to find a spot. Again, it's just kind of a matter of how many people you want to be shoved into a pool with. But as I mentioned previously, this was one of my favorite pools to grab a drink, lay out, and enjoy the views at. And that's honestly why I love cruises so much. I wouldn't take one all the time, but it is nice to just have an excuse to relax and do nothing for the day. And there's just something about this endless ocean view that just really gets to me. And nothing like an amazing ocean view and an Aperol Spritz to tie the vacation all together. Now, I did mention that there are 2 pools. This one was located at the back of the ship directly outside of the buffet. But if you go inside, cross through the buffet to the other side, there is a second pool, which I would say was the main pool. I really liked the theme and the Italian style with the fountain and everything, but as you can see, this pool was actually super small. This was also the main area where they had a lot of the events for the ship, so it was often really crowded. Sometimes they'd have movie showings and things here as well. So yeah, it was a nice looking pool, but I didn't actually swim here, and I feel like there could have been a better use of this space, but that's just me. I guess you have to make room for the buffets and seating areas anyway. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys what this pool looked like. It was a great spot for kids, and again, this area was really fun for families as well. This is the area above the pool. They had some foosball tables and a corner with games. They also had a ping pong table here, so it was super popular for the kiddos. And as always, there is a lot of other seating areas and places to relax. So yeah, there's as much to do or as little to do as you could possibly want. Every day at your cabin, you also get a list of daily shows and events that they have throughout the ship, so definitely check those out. There are some more Italian decor. Really quick, we're gonna walk by the Serenity Spa because of course no vacation is complete without a spa option. Right next to the spa is also the gym. We ended up coming here quite a few times because that running track outside was just not ideal. And the gym was actually in a really nice location. Right now we're walking through the spa to access the gym, but one thing I really liked about it was that it had these big bright windows. They also had a towel service on site, so you had fresh towels to wipe your face with. They had a lot of different machines and mats, and they had everything you could possibly want, and it was super spacious and comfortable. Right next to those giant windows was this floor workout area, which was really fun. So yeah, their gym gets a lot of love from me. Here is the main theater. This is where they're gonna have a lot of their shows. They also did stuff like bingo here. It is a 2-level theater, and for some of those big performances, you do want to get here early to get a good seat. When they do have live shows, they do have drink service. And I'd have to say that the Carnival team is super talented, so we did see a lot of great shows while we were here. The shows are complimentary, so I would highly recommend taking advantage of them. You do have to pay for bingo though because there are cash prizes. Now, I'm not the biggest shopper, but they did have an area of shops as well. They had a candy store, a makeup and perfume store, and a jewelry store. There were other things too, so if you do like to shop, there are options for that as well. I really liked this area because it was a big nod to the ship's Italian theme. Everything is gold and really rich looking, and it was just a nice touch, especially if you've been on any other Carnival ships. Now, one thing to note is the elevator system here is kind of weird. If you can afford it on the first day, just take the stairs. I swear it was a nightmare the first day. Everybody was pushing random buttons, it was chaos. But honestly, that was just the first day, and then everything kind of smoothed out after that. We'll do one last little walkthrough of some of the shops here so you guys can just kind of see what we're working with. And then this leads you right back over to those restaurants. This is the Limelight Lounge. This is where they had a lot of the comedy shows. Comedy shows are also included in your cruise price, and we actually had rotating performances, which was really nice. They do have shows for everyone and then adult-only shows, so just keep that in mind. But you'll definitely want to check them out. Last but not least is the casino. I'm not a huge gambler myself, but this was definitely the most popular spot of the whole cruise. They have everything from machines to tables, and they even had a non-smoking casino room, which was kind of nice. So yeah, I don't have much to say about this area, but I'll give you guys a quick walkthrough so you can kind of see what they have to offer. I am going to speed it up a little bit though, just a heads up. Well, that was the Carnival Firenze. We stopped 1 day in Ensenada and 2 days in Cabo and had a fabulous time. Thanks for touring the ship with me and joining me on my vacation. See you guys next time.